Good evening, everyone. It is such a delight to be back here at Liverpool Cathedral again this year after another quite amazing Pride Festival. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Warren Hartley and I'm part of the team that helps make Open Table Liverpool happen. When the team first asked me if I'd be willing to speak at this year's service, I thought they were having a laugh, because they know how good I am at going over time, for one thing. But that was before I heard what the theme was for this year's festival, which was Come As You Are. And I thought, what a gift. Yes, please, I will do the talk. Because you see, Open Table has been using the slogan, Come As You Are, for many years now. And we use it to describe the kind of community we hope and endeavour to build. Open Table aims to create a safe, sacred space where LGBTQIA people, friends and family can bring their whole selves to God and to each other. A place where you can come as you are and to explore an inclusive Christian spirituality. And we've been doing that, however imperfectly, for just over 11 years. And Open Table communities now gather at 16 other places across England and Wales. Now, our affinity with Come As You Are grew out of a very simple, beautiful hymn, and it was written by an Australian nun by the name of Deirdre Brown, and it was titled, yeah, you can guess it, Come As You Are. The lyrics of this hymn captured our hearts and our imaginations and has turned into something of a theme song. It starts as we sing what we believe God sings to us. Come as you are, that's how I want you. Come as you are, feel quite at home. And in the final verse, come as you are, that's how I love you. Now, the first time I heard this hymn sung was in a church in Sydney, Australia, one Sunday back in 2006. Now, that particular Sunday service was the very first I'd attended in over 8 years. 8 years prior, I'd given up on God and Christianity, as I'd internalised the message that I'd heard over and over and over from pulpits and tele-evangelists and all sorts of people, that being gay was sinful, that I was a threat to society, dangerous, etc., etc. You've all heard the words. I'd heard them all, and that God and the church didn't really want much to do with me. And so I didn't want much to do with him, or them for that matter, and became a rather angry atheist for a while. Now, God has a mighty good sense of humour, but because as I came out and began to accept myself over the years of 2005 and 2006, a sense of spirituality and seeking emerged again, which surprised me, I can tell you. It was the very last thing I expected to come out of that process. At that time, I wouldn't even so much as set foot in a church, not even as a tourist. I was too angry. But one day I was reading one of Sydney's gay newspapers, and I saw an Anglican church advertising that it was inclusive and welcomed LGBT people. I didn't believe it for a moment. But my curiosity and this seeking got the better of me, and I went to a Sunday service. And this was the first hymn they sang. I felt it sing, Come As You Are, Warren. That's how I want you. Come as you are, Warren, that's how I love you. And that Sunday has set me on a path of exploration of a Christian spirituality that welcomed and embraced queer people like me. And I learned that there was nothing, absolutely nothing, incompatible with being LGBT and being a follower of Christ. And this song is still a major factor that motivates me in the work that I do amongst Open Table, to help create space where others hear the same words. Come as you are, that's how I love you. Now, I rather love this anonymous definition of friendship that says a friend is someone who knows the song in your heart and can sing it back to you when you've forgotten the words. That, to me, is spirituality, and the communities that we try and build in church is that we sing one another back to ourselves. And then not long after that Sunday, I also started dating the church warden, but that's another story. Now, the reading we heard tonight was from St. Paul in Corinthians. Now, St. Paul and Christianity don't have a great reputation when it comes to the body. It is often, to me, a source of profound irony that a religion that believes that God literally became a human in the historical person of Jesus of Nazareth struggles so much with issues of body, sexuality and gender. The God and teacher whom we say we follow was a body, a sexuality, a gender. But in the language we use to describe him, we tend to think of him more as superhuman or a demigod than we do that he was both fully human as well as fully divine. However, I think that St. Paul doesn't always deserve the reputation he has, though I do sometimes wonder what on earth he was thinking in some of his writings. The stunning poem by Jamie that we've shaped and crafted this liturgy tonight from, and reflects on identity and what it means to be embodied. And the reading from Paul's letter to the Corinthians does the same thing, perhaps even taking it one step further. What does it mean to be a body of people, a community? And finally, as he writes, you are the body of Christ. What does that mean, to be the body of Christ? Now, to me, this reading is one of the most striking in the entire New Testament, as it gives a metaphor for what it means to be a diverse community. We are one, but we are not all the same. We are all human, but we are not all the same, nor do we need to be. Indeed, we need to be different and diverse, as each and every one of us has something to offer this world, and that only we can offer it. Nobody else has that gift. Now, the insight that is at the very beginning of the Hebrew faith is that humans are made in the very image of God. And what was striking about the Hebrew teaching, unlike many of those around them, it wasn't just the elite or the great and the good, or only the king that was made in the image of God, and all the rest of us were less than. Each, every one of us are made in the image of God. And naturally, that includes queer folk. The whole point of Jesus' ministry was a teaching that we are, each of us, a beloved child of God. And then following his death and resurrection, we became his body in the world. And Richard Rohr, the American Franciscan, states that when you honour and accept the divine image within yourself, you cannot help but see it in everybody else. That's the spiritual journey. That is the message of Jesus. Now, if I may paraphrase St. Paul for a moment, as the body of Christ, the straight person cannot say to the gay person, I have no need of you. The cisgender person cannot say to the transgender person, I have no need of you. Because if one member suffers, we all suffer, together. Now together, all of us, each and every single one of us, whether we are aware of it or not, are already a part of the body of Christ. And we have the goal and the work of building a world that honours and accepts all, to liberate ourselves and others, to give our gifts to the world, those gifts that only we can offer. As the great mystic St. Teresa of Avila said, Christ has no body but yours, no hands, no feet on earth but yours. Yours are the hands with which he blesses all the world. If you want to see the body of Christ, look around you. We, you and I are the body of Christ. The same Spirit that lived in him lives in us. So I'd like to encourage you just to pause for a moment and look at your hands. Hold them open and remember all that they hold. Turn them over and consider all that they bless. They are brimming with sacred potential. Together, we are the body of Christ, and the body of Christ is just a little bit queer.